It was one of those nights, the kind where silence blankets the house and everyone is meant to be fast asleep. But the young girl, she was wide awake, long past her bedtime, yet her eyes remained open and her small hands were busy, pulling her favorite toys into an imaginary world of her own creation. It seemed like a harmless game. Little did she know that playtime was about to be shattered by something far darker. Her mother had always been cautious, but nothing could have prepared her for what the security camera captured that night. The footage sent chills down her spine, and ever since, the entire family had been on edge, constantly watching, waiting. It was around 11 p.m. when the camera picked up something strange. At first, it was just the usual sounds of the girl whispering and talking to her toys, but then a new voice emerged from the static. "Hey, do you want to play?" the voice asked, soft but unnerving. Sure," the girl replied innocently, her voice tinged with excitement. But there was no one else in the room, just her and her toys. For a moment, it seemed like nothing more than an eerie coincidence, a child's overactive imagination blending with the night. But the voice wasn't coming from her. The family couldn't make sense of it at first, but they couldn't deny the strange sensation creeping up their spines. Suddenly, something shifted. One of the toys, a small doll, lit up on its own, its plastic face bathed in a dull, ghostly glow. The doll played a familiar tune, a song the little girl often hummed. But here's where things got truly unsettling. The doll began playing the tune in perfect synchronization with the child's humming, as if it knew. The girl, oblivious to the terror brewing in the shadows, kept playing. But her mother, sitting in front of the camera footage days later, wasn't as calm. The tension in the room was palpable, and every creak of the house felt amplified by what she had just seen. And then it happened, the part that made her heart leap into her throat. Without warning, the girl, who had been kneeling by her toys, was dragged. Her small body was pulled in one seamless, horrifying motion beneath the bed. It was as if invisible hands had reached out and yanked her into the darkness. The footage cut off abruptly. The house, in that moment, fell into an eerie silence. The mother, terrified, rushed to her daughter's side. She found her there, lying under the bed, dazed but unharmed. Still, something felt terribly wrong. The mother immediately locked the room, determined to keep whatever force had done this away from her child. But the nightmare didn't end there. In the days that followed, the family couldn't shake the feeling of something lurking, watching. The mother posted updates, desperate for answers, but too terrified to re-enter the room. People asked her if she had checked under the bed, if she had gone back in to investigate further. But fear had kept her at bay. Then, in a moment of courage, or perhaps desperation, she returned. Phone in hand, she approached the locked room and slowly opened the door. The air felt thick with dread. She hesitated, then leaned down to check beneath the bed. Her pulse quickened as her flashlight illuminated the dark space. There it was, a doll. Its plastic eyes stared blankly ahead, its head twisted at an unnatural angle. Just as she turned to leave, something unimaginable happened. The doll's head moved. It was subtle, almost imperceptible at first, but unmistakable. The head turned, as if it knew she was watching. Panic flooded her system. The mother bolted out of the room, her breath coming in short, ragged gasps. She locked the door once more, vowing never to open it again. Days have passed since then, and the room remains sealed, a dark secret hidden behind its closed door. The family is left with an agonizing question. What had dragged their child under the bed that night? Was it the doll? Or something far more sinister? To this day, they don't have an answer. But one thing's for sure: whatever it was, it's still there, waiting.